So I've thought about how to talk about this for a while, and there's really not like a script that I can follow or something I can say that makes it easier to talk about. So I just kind of want to talk for a minute about sort of where I went when I was not really making any videos or doing much for 6 months. I'm not going to cry. So for those of you who like have watched my videos before, you might have heard me mention that my mom had breast cancer, and she was diagnosed in June of 2022, and fought a really, really hard battle. Went through lots of treatment, chemo, mastectomy, radiation, all of it. And we thought everything was okay. I think when you have cancer, you kind of never feel like you can let your guard down and like everything is going to be okay forever, but we felt okay-ish. And it ended up coming back. She had a few months there where we felt like she kind of beat it, and she rang the bell and everything was great. And in April of this year, she felt a lump again, and unfortunately the cancer had come back and it had spread. And anyway, I lost my mom in December, about almost 2 months ago. And it sucks. I'm 38, and she was just outside of her 59th birthday. Her birthday was on the 8th, and she passed on the 16th of December on her brother's birthday. Just like, why? But I just kind of wanted to, it has nothing to do with my channel of motherhood and cooking and cleaning, but it also kind of has everything to do with my channel because she's a big part of me, and she is missed every single day. So I have not felt motivated in a while to do much of anything, to be honest with you, kind of just surviving and doing the things I have to do. But I know that that is not good for my mental health. I have to go pick up my kids. To speak to what I'm trying to say, I don't have time to sit around and cry. I've definitely taken the time to do that. But I'm really, really, really trying to kind of get back into my regular routine. I have no choice but to do that. So anyway, that's sort of kind of the reason for a huge pause. I did go back. We live in Northeast Ohio. She and my dad live in Illinois, close to St. Louis, and it's about a 7.5 hour drive. So I did make the trip several times to go visit her, and, just see her as much as I could. And obviously making YouTube videos is what was like the last thing on my mind. But I am going to try to be back and try to be somewhat consistent. That's never been a strong suit of mine, as far as YouTube goes. But anyway, that happened. And if, I just wanted to kind of be able to be honest, like when I'm doing voiceovers, and I'm honestly, that last video that I posted, when I pulled up that footage, it was from the summer, and she was still alive, and it was hard to make that video. It was just really hard. It's weird how grief kind of like makes no sense, but it was really hard to see the me that had a mom and felt like things were a little bit more the way they should be and normal. And anyway, so with that being said, I want to be able to be more like real when I'm making voiceovers and not just make it sound like everything's great and, I'm so happy and everything's put together, because to be honest with you, I just laid on the couch for an hour, and that's not like me. I'm not usually somebody that sits around a lot, but it's just it's a mixture of that, and it's also Northeast Ohio in February, coming from someone who lived in Florida. So it's tough. But anyway, if I mention something about my mom or something about, anything about that, I just wanted it to kind of make sense. So it's been a long time coming that I came on here and talked about this, but I just wanted to let you all know. All right, well, there's really no great transition between what I was just talking about with my mom and back to regular life, which, I mean, if you've been through anything like this and you've experienced any type of grief, that's kind of the way it is, right? You go through what you go through, and then you are sort of expected to resume regular life. And especially if you are a parent, I think that you don't really have the luxury of getting to lay around and feel sad, which I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing. But anyway, I have really been struggling the past, month or so to motivate myself to want to do the projects like I used to around my house and just things like that bring me joy. I know it sounds really weird, but carpet cleaning and painting and things like that, like home maintenance, that's the kind of stuff that really does make me so happy and feel, I don't know, just like I've accomplished something in the day. So trying to get back into that. You can see I went upstairs with some clean laundry, and I came down with a whole bunch of snacks. So my kids, it's fine. They eat in their rooms. It's not great, but it's mainly just snacks. They don't eat like full meals in there. So I've got that carried down. I started my robot vacuum, and now I'm going to just empty out some of the clothes from the washer, put it in the dryer, and take some of this clothes that belongs to my daughter upstairs to her room.
so we've got the sink cleaned out, we've got the dishes loaded. I'm about to put you on to one of the best scents for spring. So, you know, I love Thieves. I'll always use Thieves cleaner and dilute it, and it's just like a classic. But this scent right here, it's called Citrus Grove. It's from Target. It's just like the Target brand. It smells exactly like the Anthropologie Capri Blue Volcano scent, like those candles that are just iconic and they smell so good. That's what this smells like. So I always buy this. I use it to mop. I use it for, you know, the counters, whatever. I don't really use it for glass, but it smells so springy, and you can tell by looking outside. I needed a little spring in my life because we were covered in like a 6 to 8 inch blanket of snow. And I was just like ready to kind of brighten things up in my house. So I'm going to get the counters cleaned off, and I'm going to clean off the refrigerator and pay attention to these bar stools and these little chairs in the background, because I'm about to switch everything up, which I know is a little bit crazy, but you'll see. I think it ends up looking really good in the end. Okay, if it ever looks like I'm cleaning something that's already clean, rest assured it is not. It is probably disgusting with a bunch of little children handprints, which that's what's happening right here. By the way, this refrigerator, I hate to say it, I would not recommend it. When we moved here, this was like one of my only things that I really cared about, was like, I really want that refrigerator that has the family hub thing, and I never use it. If you know, you can see I just kind of hit something that shows you the inside of the fridge. So I mean, it's cool, but if you have some kind of really neat like things or hacks that you do with your fridge, if you have this same one, like let me know. Obviously we play music on it, but we could do that with another one of our devices. You know, I'm trying to not say the word because I don't want to make all of your devices go off. So, but yeah, I don't need this. Also, that little rubber thing, I'm gonna link that in the description box. I always have like everything that I use and love from Amazon, or you know, other things too, and I like to know it, linked in the description box. So if you are ever looking for something that I use that you like home decor, cleaning, like kitchen things that you can, you know, cook with or organize with, chances are it's in the description box. I'm not sure how long they will let me make the description box or how many characters I get, but I'm just going to keep adding as long as I can. So if you're looking for something, it might be there. This is how dirty the counter got. I mean, like I said, it might look clean from a distance, but we always have lots of crumbs everywhere because we pretty much cook 3 meals a day at home. The kids are gone for lunch, obviously, but I still usually cook something for myself or heat something up. So lots of crumbs, and would not recommend a gas stove just for the cleaning aspect of it. I love my stove. I love the way my stove cooks, but oh my gosh, I miss the just glass flat cooktop because cleaning this thing is such a process. All right, so we're kind of all over the place today, but I'm gonna make myself a little, I wouldn't even really call this a lunch because it's literally just a banana, but I do this almost every day. And one thing, I'm not saying that I am the picture of health or anything like that, but did you know that you should open bananas from the bottom? That's what actual monkeys do in the wild. I learned that from my kids recently. Anyway, this is just like a snack, but one thing that I've learned is if I make things really, really simple, and if I'm okay with sort of like eating the same thing every day, I can eat much more healthy foods. When I'm trying, if I just take the decision making out of it, I find that I will just kind of, without even thinking, like make the things I always make. So I go for a while on the same thing. and then I'll kind of switch it up and do something different. And also, of course, it like depends on the season. So this is just a snack I have almost, I don't know, every day, every other day. Take a banana, cut it in half. I put some peanut butter or almond butter, whatever. I know that this is weird that I'm putting salt, but I am a salt girl and I will eat a little sprinkle of salt on everything. Like, I'm the girl that puts salt on a watermelon. So if you think that's weird, just leave it off. I just feel like it brings out the sweetness that's in the peanut butter. This mason jar is full of hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, and I think a little bit of pecans. And I just keep it in the refrigerator to keep it fresh. But you guys, it's so good. It's a good way to get in like some seeds. I don't know what all these things do, but I know that they're supposed to be good for you. So I also use that. Don't mind the big hole in my leggings. I'm also covering up my feet because I know some of you guys are kind of weird. I get some weird messages about mopping without my socks on. So I'm going to go ahead and put some socks on so nobody gets any weird ideas. Moving on, I am going to get some laundry done. This is kind of just a typical day. This is like, I wouldn't say I do this much every day, but I'm definitely every day doing laundry, cleaning up the kitchen, resetting the house a little bit. And a little bit here, I'm going to move some furniture around. So clearly that's not something that I do every day, but pretty close. You can ask my husband. He comes home and he's like, oh, where are the chairs? Why is this a different room? And I mean, he loves me. He's used to it now. He knew this before he married me, but I just love a good change. I love to switch things up, and it's not hurting anyone, right? It's probably only hurting me because I'm moving heavy furniture all the time. Okay, so this room, this is in the front of our house, like right when you first walk in. You guys have probably seen this room. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've probably seen it be 10 different things. When we first moved in, I think it's supposed to be an office. That's why it has this carpeting. You can shut these French doors and it's pretty soundproof. And then there's also like a jack and a outlet up on the wall. You can't see it right here, but I think that's supposed to be for like maybe a second monitor for a computer, or like you can project stuff from your computer up to like a TV. So probably should be an office. Well, we don't really have a big reason for an office. We did set it up like an office at one point, and I just found that I wasn't using it. So at one point when we first moved here, we had a table from IKEA, and we had that in the kitchen area. And then we bought this table, which was like a little bit more formal, but you know, just whatever, an everyday table to use. And we put this in here. And I like the look of it because also behind this wall, we have a china cabinet that my husband got me as a wedding gift. And I will always have that. I absolutely love it. It's sentimental to me. So it made sense, right? We have a table, we have the china cabinet. You can see it there. Well, the problem is, even though this is only, well, the first problem is I sold the other table. I sold the IKEA table because I just didn't love it aesthetically. It was like really not the style of this house. The style of our Florida house and this house are just so drastically different. Like the architecture and the vibes in South Florida in particular are just very unique, and the furniture I had there did not feel right here in this house in Ohio, which is just Midwest and different. So I sold that table on Facebook Marketplace, and I moved this table into the kitchen, which is what I'm doing again right now. But over the course of the past few months, I have been on Pinterest and I've been seeing this room called a whiskey room, which I had never really heard of before, but I love the aesthetic of it. Imagine like dark, some shelving, maybe a bar cart, some leather furniture. Okay, so that's what I was going with. So I purchased some chairs off of Facebook Marketplace and brought them home. It's the one that you see behind me. And I was going to make a whiskey room. So one time when Brian was out of town, I did all this, which I know I'm crazy. I had to make multiple trips because the chairs did not all fit in my car, obviously. And I got the chairs, and I tried to set up sort of this club chair, whiskey room, you can lounge kind of vibe. And I did really like it, but I missed the look of the dining table in there. Well, anyway, I moved the dining table back. I'm sorry, this is a very long-winded story. I moved the dining table back in there. We went with that for a while. I put these other chairs in here. I don't know. I just cannot get a handle on how I want this to be set up. But one thing I have decided on is that I want the table in the kitchen. Because when we have people over, I was finding that a few people would sit at the bar stools. A couple people obviously could sit in these two chairs. And then there was always a few extra people. Not that we have people over that often, but some of our Florida friends just moved up here, and we've got some friends that are neighbors. And I don't know, we do love to host. And I was finding that we did not have enough seating, because it doesn't matter how much furniture you have in your living room, everyone is going to end up in the kitchen. So it just wasn't functioning. It wasn't functioning for family dinners either. We really do pride ourselves on making sure eating dinner with our kids is a priority. And we were not eating dinner with our kids because we didn't want to take the extra 10 steps into that other room. And it just didn't feel right. I don't know, something about it. It was annoying to move everything, all the food into there. It was annoying to move everything back, even though it's really not that much farther. It just felt like it was. So it wasn't functioning. And I know that this might seem like I'm kind of crazy to move furniture all this often, but I want my house to literally, I think Oprah said this back 20 years ago, to rise up and greet me. I want to walk in the door and I want everything to feel exactly the way I want it. That doesn't always look like, oh, I'm just going to go to our house in Pottery Barn and I'm going to buy all new stuff, because that's just not realistic. But if I can take something and reorganize it, or rearrange furniture to feel more like the way I would want it to, or find something on Facebook Marketplace, I will 100% do that. Okay, so I'm moving you guys down here because I'm going to fix these darn legs on this chair. We had some loose legs, so I had to put the bolts back in there and fix that. But like I was saying, I'm sorry, this is a very chatty video. So if you don't like that sort of thing, you can turn down your volume on your TV or on your device. Anyway, I don't mind moving things around because it just brings me joy. I think I would really love one day to maybe do something in interior design or staging or just helping my friends. I love to do that kind of stuff, and I'm not saying that I'm the best at it or that I'm perfect at it. I'm always trying to grow and change and make my house better, but I will put in the effort because it brings me joy to use that part of my brain. So now I'm trying to decide, do I want these swivel chairs in what we're going to call the whiskey room, or do I want these chairs in there? And I ended up putting this chair that's on the left that is not a swivel chair, I put that into the whiskey room. They're a little bit more substantial, and I really like the swivel chairs. I don't love the scale of them. I do wish that they were a little bit bigger, but these were another Facebook Marketplace find, and I found them. I loved them. The home I bought them from was very clean, which is very important when you're buying furniture on Facebook Marketplace. So I do love them, and I like that we can swivel. I'm sure that in a month from now, maybe I'll swap the chairs, but for now, I'm going to keep these here, and I'm just going to keep on moving all the furniture to its new home. We are upstairs now. You guys have seen this room before, but I've also switched this room up. So this actually used to be my daughter Reese's room. There are 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then there's one in the basement, and then we have like our master. So this room has like a Jack and Jill bathroom in between it. And so when we looked at this house, we thought this will be perfect for the girls, 1 girl on each side, and then they can share the bathroom. But in like reality, since we've lived here, we ended up putting our oldest daughter into the room that used to be the boys' room, and it has its own bathroom. And that way our other daughter can have this Jack and Jill bathroom pretty much to herself. Like both of them pretty much have their own bathroom. And then because the boys just don't really use the bathroom that much, like honestly, Foster doesn't even spend that much time in this bedroom. He kind of hangs out with his brother downstairs, and he definitely doesn't have like skincare and hair tools and things like that. So our daughter gets to kind of like use all the drawers and spread everything out. All of this that I'm saying though, let me just tell you, when I grew up, I had 1 bathroom in my house that I grew up in, and it was built in the 1950s. Very, that type of tile, the pedestal sink. I don't know what happened here to this dresser. Somebody took something sharp to it. But I did not grow up with each of us having our own ensuite bathroom. And it is not lost on me that my kids are so lucky and blessed to have their own bathrooms. It has been a lot of years of sacrifice, and a lot of, honestly, moving is not always the easiest thing. We've moved across country twice. We love it. It's for my husband's job. We absolutely love the adventure. But it definitely comes with sacrifice. When my mom was sick, that was so hard. Like it was so hard to not be close to her and not be able to see her every day and help her and cook for her. And, I did what I could from 500 miles away, but it's hard. And if you don't live near family for any reason, you completely understand what I'm saying, but it's just hard. And there was something wonderful when we lived in Illinois and we were close to our family, where like if I had 2 different kids doing a sport on the same night and my husband was working, we always had a grandparent available, or we had grandparents. There was always a grandparent at every single sporting event, whether it was my grandparents or Brian's mom and dad, my mom and dad. Like we always had someone there, and we don't have that now, and it really breaks my heart. But we do all this to give our kids some things that, I know I didn't have, and it's just kind of a trade-off. I don't know. I think every parent probably wonders if what they are doing is the right thing, and I am definitely not immune to that. I don't even know how we started talking about that. Oh yes, the bathrooms. So anyway, I don't say all this from like an ivory tower of, I grew up having my own bathroom. No, I didn't. I shared with my mom and dad and my brother, and it was tiny. And my parents moved when I was in college, so I never got to live in their big new house, but that's okay. I will not hold that against them. So I'm upstairs. I'm going to clean up Foster's room. This is kind of one of those areas that unfortunately gets neglected because we're really not up here. Like I said, Foster likes to hang out with his brother. They would be perfectly happy sharing a room, but we just have this set up like for him. And if we have guests, then they usually take either this room or more likely the room in the basement that is Graham's room, because there's a king size bed. So I'm vacuuming this area, and I'm realizing that when Foster and his friend decided to color that little playhouse with markers, they left the lids off the markers, and you can't really see it very well in the video, but there's like little blue and red and purple marker stains all over this carpet. So after I vacuum, I'm going to run downstairs and grab the carpet cleaner and just quickly clean the carpet in this room because it was really stained. And I pretty much got it all out, so that's a good thing. So I am going to pop in one of these. This is one of the new spring, like Better Homes and Gardens wax scents, which I love. It makes my whole upstairs smell good. And I know it's not the most non-toxic thing, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So I go ahead and get that started, and then I'm gonna steam clean these carpets. Until you see this water. It is disgusting. We don't even go in here with shoes or really food or anything. I don't know how it gets so gross, but I'm about to show you something even grosser. The ceiling fan, I'm pretty sure we've never cleaned. And by we, I mean I've never cleaned this. So I'm going to vacuum off these like mountains of dust and then wipe it down with some spray. That's embarrassing. I've lived here for almost 2 years now, and I'm pretty sure I've never cleaned this. So, like I said, this room sometimes gets neglected, but we've got it all back in shape, and I'm going to clean the baseboards a little bit with just the vacuum while I have it out, because those were also super dusty. And that's pretty much it for the day. I was really exhausted by the time I had done all this. I pretty much was out of time, and I needed to go pick up the kids from school and get about the rest of our night. So this was a very, very chatty video, and I am sorry if that's something that you guys don't like. I guess I'm just in the mood to talk to you. So I hope that you got some motivation, or at the very least, you kind of got to know me a little bit better. And I said this in my last video, but I really want to try to be more consistent. I know I haven't been on here a ton, but just like moving furniture around and painting and redecorating, filming videos and editing them is something that it's like therapeutic to me, and I love to do it. And so I want to get back into it. I'm trying to do things that used to bring me joy, and that I think will bring me joy again. So I hope that you all have the best day, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed and you're interested in the kind of stuff that I'm posting, please do. I would love to have you. Bye.